The security guard's hand grabbed her wrist so hard she thought her bones might break. But Naomi didn't cry. She never cried. Not when her parents died, not when she lived on the streets for 3 years, and definitely not now. How did this beautiful girl end up being homeless and what she was stealing in a rich wedding? Let's watch it together. But before, please subscribe to my channel. Let me go, she said quietly, her dark eyes burning with a fire that made the big man step back. The fancy wedding tent went silent. 200 rich guests in their expensive clothes turned to stare at the skinny girl in torn jeans and a dirty shirt. In her free hand, she held a plate of rice and chicken she had taken from the food table. "Thief!" someone shouted. "Call the police!" yelled another, but then a voice cut through the noise like a knife. "Wait!" Everyone turned. The groom walked toward them. He was tall and handsome in his perfect white suit. His name was Jordan, and this was supposed to be the happiest day of his life. But something in his eyes looked different. Sad, maybe. Or angry. "Let her go," Jordan said to the security guard. "But sir, she stole food from your wedding," the guard said. Jordan looked at Naomi, really looked at her, not at her dirty clothes or her thin face. He looked into her eyes, and what he saw there made his heart skip a beat. "What's your name?" he asked softly. Naomi lifted her chin. She wasn't ashamed. She was hungry, and she took food. That was survival. "Naomi, Naomi," Jordan repeated. The name felt strange on his tongue, like he had said it before, long ago. "How old are you?" 25. A woman in a beautiful pink dress pushed through the crowd. This was Esther, Jordan's bride. Her face was red with anger. "Jordan, what are you doing? It's our wedding day. Make her give back the food and leave." But Jordan didn't move. He kept staring at Naomi. "Where are you from?" "Does it matter?" Naomi asked. She tried to sound tough, but something about this man made her feel strange. Like she knew him from somewhere. "Yes," Jordan whispered. It matters more than you know." An old woman stepped forward. This was Mrs. Chen, Jordan's grandmother. She was small but strong with silver hair and wise eyes. "Jordan," she said carefully, "maybe we should talk inside." "No," Jordan said. His voice was getting louder. "I want to know. Naomi, do you remember anything about your childhood, before you were on the streets?" Naomi's heart started beating fast. Why was he asking this? I lived in an orphanage. My parents died in a car crash when I was 7. Why?" Esther grabbed Jordan's arm. "Jordan, you're scaring me. What's wrong with you?" But Jordan pulled away from his bride. He walked closer to Naomi, so close she could see tears starting in his eyes. "Show me your left shoulder," he said. "What?" Naomi stepped back. "Please, please." Something in his voice made her listen. Slowly, Naomi pulled down her shirt. On her left shoulder was a small scar shaped like a star. Jordan's legs went weak. He almost fell down. "Oh my God," he whispered. "Oh my God, it's you." "Jordan," Esther Hare screamed. "What is happening?" Mrs. Chen moved closer. Her old hands were shaking. "Jordan, no, it can't be." "It is," Jordan said. Tears were running down his face now. "Grandma, look at her, really look." The old woman stared at Naomi, at her dark eyes, at the way she held her head high, even when everyone was against her, at the small scar. "Impossible," Mrs. Chen breathed. "Will someone please tell me what's going on?" Naomi demanded. But her voice was shaking now too. Jordan turned to face all the wedding guests. His voice was loud and clear. "Everyone, I need to tell you something. This wedding, it can't happen." "What?" Esther shrieked. "Because," Jordan said, looking right at Naomi, "this woman, she's my sister." The tent exploded with noise. People gasped and shouted. Esther started crying, but Naomi just stood there, frozen. "That's impossible," she said. "My brother died in the same crash as my parents. I was told he died." "No," Mrs. Chen said quietly. She looked very old all of a sudden. "Jordan, you were told your sister died, and Naomi, you were told your brother died. But you were both wrong. Jordan stepped closer to Naomi. I remember you. We used to play in the backyard. You had a little stuffed elephant named Peanut. And that scar on your shoulder, you got it when you fell off your bike trying to follow me and my friends. Naomi's hand went to her shoulder. Her mind was spinning. She did remember a stuffed elephant. She remembered a boy who looked like her, a boy who always protected her. But how? She whispered. Mrs. Chen's voice was heavy with sadness. After the crash, you were both hurt badly. Jordan was taken to one hospital. Naomi was taken to another. The paperwork got mixed up. Each of you was told the other one died. Jordan came to live with me. Naomi, she looked at the young woman with pain in her eyes. Naomi went to the orphanage. You mean, Naomi said slowly, for 18 years, we both thought the other one was dead. Yes, Jordan said. His voice broke. I mourned for you every day, every single day. Esther was still crying, but now she looked angry too. This is crazy. You can't just stop our wedding because some homeless girl looks like someone you used to know. But Jordan wasn't listening to Esther anymore. He was looking at his little sister who had been living on the streets while he lived in a big house. His little sister who had to steal food while he ate at fancy restaurants. I'm so sorry, he said. Naomi, I'm so sorry. If I had known you were alive. It's not your fault, Naomi said, but her voice was different now, softer. You didn't know. A man in a black suit pushed through the crowd. This was Mr. Williams, Jordan's business partner. Jordan, you need to think about this, he said. You can't just cancel your wedding. Think about the business. Think about the money. Think about your future. Jordan turned to look at Mr. Williams, then at Esther, then at all the fancy guests who were more worried about the party than about the fact that he had just found his dead sister alive. You know what? Jordan said. His voice was getting stronger. I am thinking about my future. And my future includes my sister. He started taking off his expensive watch, then his gold ring, then his fancy jacket. Jordan, what are you doing? Mrs. Chen asked. I'm giving these to Naomi, he said. She's been living on the streets for 18 years while I lived like a king. That stops now. You can't just give away everything, Esther shouted. Watch me, Jordan said. He looked at Naomi. We have the same parents. We should have inherited everything together. Half of everything I have is yours. Naomi stared at the expensive things in Jordan's hands. She had been hungry for so long. She had slept in the cold for so many nights. These things could change her life. But instead of taking them, she pushed his hands away. I don't want your money, she said. Everyone stared at her. What? Jordan asked. I said I don't want your money. I survived for 18 years without it. I don't need it now. But Naomi, no, she said firmly. I came here tonight because I was hungry. I took food because I needed to eat. But I never asked for charity, and I won't start now. Esther stopped crying. Mr. Williams stopped talking. Even Mrs. Chen looked surprised. Then what do you want? Jordan asked softly. Naomi looked at her brother. This man who had everything while she had nothing. This man who was willing to give it all up for her. I want to know if you're a good person, she said. Rich people can be good or bad. Poor people can be good or bad. Money doesn't make you who you are. Your choices do. What do you mean? Naomi pointed at Esther. She's your bride. You were about to promise to love her forever. But you're ready to cancel your wedding for someone you haven't seen in 18 years. What does that say about your promises? Esther's mouth fell open. And you, Naomi pointed at Mr. Williams, you care more about business than about Jordan finding his family. What does that say about your friendship? The man looked embarrassed. And all of you, she said to the crowd, you were ready to call the police on a hungry person instead of just giving her some food. What does that say about your hearts? The tent was completely quiet now. Jordan stared at his sister. This woman who had nothing but was stronger than anyone he knew. You're right, he said. You're absolutely right. He turned to Esther. I'm sorry, but Naomi is right. I was about to make promises to you, but the first time something difficult happened, I forgot about those promises. That's not fair to you. Esther's face went white. "And Williams," Jordan continued, "if you care more about money than about people, then maybe we shouldn't be partners." Mr. Williams started to speak, but Jordan held up his hand. "But most importantly," Jordan said, looking at all his guests, "if you all think it's okay to call the police on someone for taking food when there's enough here to feed 100 people, then maybe I don't want you at my party anyway." He turned back to Naomi. "You asked if I'm a good person. I don't know, but I want to be. Will you help me learn how?" Naomi studied her brother's face. She had learned to read people very well living on the streets. She could tell when someone was lying, she could tell when someone was dangerous, and she could tell when someone was sincere. "Maybe," Naomi said softly, "but first you need to make things right." Jordan looked at her amazed. "How did you get so wise?" "When you have nothing," she replied, "you learn what really matters. It's not money or comfort. It's how you treat people, especially when it's hard." Mrs. Chen stepped forward, tears on her cheeks. "Naomi, I failed you. I should have tried harder to find you when Jordan came. I believed what they told me. I'm sorry." Naomi could have been angry, but instead she took the old woman's hand. "You gave Jordan love and a home. Thank you." Jordan watched, realizing something. "Naomi, I don't want to give you half my money out of guilt. I want to give it because you deserve it and because you'll use it better than I ever could." "What do you mean?" "You could help people like you. The hungry, the lonely, those who need hope." Naomi felt tears rising. "You really mean that?" More than anything, she looked around at Esther's softening face, Mr. Williams's shame, Mrs. Chen's hope. Everyone was listening. "Okay," Naomi said at last, "but we do it together, and we start now." "How?" Naomi smiled, a real smile, after all these years. "We invite everyone in this city who is hungry to come and eat this wedding food, all of it, for free." Jordan stared at her. Then he started to laugh. Not because it was funny, but because it was perfect. "Yes," he said. "Yes, let's do that." Esther stepped forward. Her makeup was ruined from crying, but she looked calmer now. "Jordan," she said, "I'm hurt and I'm confused and I don't understand everything that just happened. But I can see that finding Naomi is the most important thing that's ever happened to you. And if she's willing to share this food with hungry people, then maybe I was wrong about what kind of person she is." She turned to Naomi. "I'm sorry I called you a thief." "You weren't wrong," Naomi said. "I did steal food, but sometimes good people have to do bad things to survive. And sometimes bad situations can lead to good things." Jordan looked at his bride, his former bride. "Esther, I'm sorry I hurt you, but Naomi is right. I would have been a terrible husband. I wasn't ready to put anyone else first. Maybe someday I will be, but not today." Esther nodded sadly. "Maybe you're right." As the word spread through the city, something amazing happened. People started coming. Not just hungry people, but volunteers. People who wanted to help serve food. People who brought more food from their own homes. People who just wanted to be part of something good. Mrs. Chen worked beside Naomi, serving rice to children who reminded her of her grandchildren. Esther helped too, even though she was supposed to be getting married. Mr. Williams used his business skills to organize everything. And Jordan worked beside his sister, learning what it meant to give without expecting anything back. As the night went on, Naomi watched her brother, really watched him. She saw how he listened to people's stories, how he remembered their names, how he made sure the children got extra dessert. "You know," she said to him as they took a break, "you might actually be a good person after all." "Only because I have a good teacher," he said. They sat together on the steps outside the tent, watching their city come together over food and kindness. "Jordan," Naomi said quietly, "can I ask you something?" "Anything." "Are you sad about the wedding, I mean?" Jordan thought for a long moment. "You know what's strange? I should be sad. This was supposed to be the best day of my life. But instead, it really is the best day of my life, just not the way I planned." "Why?" "Because I found you, because I learned that having everything means nothing if you're not sharing it with the right people. And because He looked at all the people around them, rich and poor, all working together. Because I finally understand what family really means. Naomi leaned her head against her brother's shoulder. What does it mean? It means you don't leave people behind, even when it's hard, even when it costs you everything, even when other people don't understand. They sat in a quiet, comfortable silence, the stars slowly emerging above the tent that had unexpectedly become a place of reunion. Around them, the guests who had once come for a wedding were now sharing food, stories, and something far more valuable: connection. But as the night wore on and the crowd began to thin, Naomi stood. "Where are you going?" Jordan asked, concern flickering in his voice. "I have somewhere I need to be," she said softly. "What?" "But we just found each other. You can't leave now." Naomi smiled, but sadness hid behind her eyes. "Jordan, do you trust me?" "Of course I do, but then trust me when I say I'll see you again. Soon." "Naomi, please." "Where are you going?" She looked at her brother, the man who had given up his wedding, who had offered her half of everything he had, a man who just hours ago had remembered how to be the kind, gentle boy she once knew. "I'm going to see our parents," she said. Jordan froze. "What do you mean? They're gone, Naomi. They're dead." "I know," she said, "but there's something I need to tell them first. Something I need to tell you too, but not yet. Naomi, you're scaring me." She reached into her pocket and pulled out a folded piece of paper. She handed it to him carefully. "Don't read this until tomorrow morning," she said. "Promise me." "I don't understand." "Promise me, Jordan." He hesitated, searching her face for answers he couldn't find. "I promise," he said finally. She smiled, kissed his forehead like she used to when they were young, and whispered, "Thank you for tonight, for remembering who you are, and for proving family still matters." And then she walked away, disappearing into the darkness. The next morning, as the sun rose over the city skyline, Jordan sat in his apartment and opened the letter with trembling hands. "Dear Jordan, by the time you read this, I'll be gone. Not dead, but gone from the life we just rediscovered. I need you to know, last night wasn't an accident. I didn't stumble into your wedding by chance. I've been watching you for months. 3 months ago, I saw you in a coffee shop. You looked so familiar. I followed you. I found your last name, your birthday, your grandmother. And I realized who you were. My brother. I could have just called, knocked on your door. But I had to know what kind of man you'd become. Had money changed you? I watched you, and what I saw hurt. You passed homeless people without looking. You threw away food while others went hungry. You treated Esther like a trophy. You made deals that crushed small businesses. You weren't the Jordan I remembered. So I tested you. I stole from your wedding. If you had me arrested, I'd know my brother was gone. But you recognized me. You gave me a chance. And just like that, the brother I loved came back to life. I'm leaving now, not because I don't love you, but because you have things to fix. Mrs. Chen, your business, your heart. But Jordan, I'm proud of you. Take care of them, and maybe one day we'll see each other again. Your sister, Naomi, P.S. Check your business account. I didn't want your money, but I never said I wouldn't take it. Call it interest on 18 missed birthdays. Use it well." Jordan stared at the letter, then grabbed his phone. "Mr. Chen," the banker said. "Yes, there was a large withdrawal last night, authorized through your private credentials. The amount was significant." "How much?" $2 million, sir." Jordan hung up and burst into laughter, then tears, then laughter again. Naomi had stolen from him after all, but sitting in his luxury apartment, he felt richer than ever. Because now he understood, the best things in life can't be stolen, they must be given. And somewhere out there, Naomi was giving. One stolen meal, one kind word, one act of defiant love at a time. What haunted Jordan, and would shape the rest of his life, was one simple question. When would he see her again? And more importantly, when he did, would he be worthy of being her brother? Will Jordan prove himself worthy of his sister's love? Can Naomi's stolen fortune truly change lives across the city? The siblings' journey is far from over. If you want to see what happens when they meet again, smash that like button and let us know in the comments. Should we continue their story? Your support decides if Naomi and Jordan's tale continues.